want to answer a question that I get all the time, and it's also a concern that I get all the time. And it's just when we're talking to our buyers and they're super frustrated because they're like, Jamey, I can still not find a home that I like in this market. What are we going to do? We need to buy, we don't want to rent anymore, and I just can't find a property that I like. And this is a very common question that I get from buyers today because the market is still very competitive, inventory is still very low, and the prices just keep rising, and so do the interest rates. So today I want to give you some ideas that can help you work through what's going on in the market today and hopefully help you find a place to buy now. Hey everyone, my name's Jamey Prezzi. I'm a real estate agent in Miami-Dade and Broward counties. I work with my husband, Ognjen Prezzi, and our team. So if you're looking for a property in today's market and you're having a really hard time finding a property based on the interest rates or the condition of the home or the price or even the area, and you just cannot find a property today, I want to give you some ideas about how to pivot a little bit so that you can maybe go outside of your original criteria and try to find a property to buy now. But first, before I get started, if this is your first time here, hit that subscribe button so you never miss another update. We do put out new videos every week. Also, use the link in our information box and download our free guide today. Okay, let's get started. So right now, of course, inventory is still very low in many parts of the city. The prices keep rising, and of course, we all know what the interest rates are doing. And so when we're talking with our buyers about some options to think through, these are some conversations that we have. Number one, if you're really hyper-focused in on one neighborhood, and that's the only neighborhood that you can buy in, maybe you need to consider a different type of property in that neighborhood. For example, would a condominium work in that neighborhood? Or maybe a townhome? Or maybe can you go outside of that area just a little bit? Maybe consider a little bit smaller property there. Or maybe you can actually find a larger property in another neighborhood a few streets over. So always kind of look outside the box just a little bit. I know sometimes people will just kind of box themselves in on a very specific area, but maybe over time, the price point of that area has crept up so much that now it's out of your reach. Or maybe the type of homes that are available in that area just don't match what you're looking for anymore. Maybe there's just something else that's happened in that area that just does not match your original criteria. This may not be your forever home. You know, a lot of times people think that they're buying their forever home, and so they put a lot of anxiety into this purchase. And listen, I get it. Buying a house is a huge financial commitment, and you have to put some money down, you have to have closing costs. You know, I get it. I understand. I've been there and done that before in the past, so I know what it is like to buy a piece of real estate. And we do it every single day with our clients as well. But just remember that things can change in life, so this may not be your forever home. Maybe this is a starter home. Maybe this is a home temporarily until something else happens. And maybe just try to think long term. Maybe you buy this property for now and then later you rent it out and you buy something even better. So that's another strategy. That may not work for everyone, I get it, but that could be a strategy mentally that you kind of change your focus to. Another thing that you may have to do is reconsider your priorities. You know, if you've been looking at real estate for any amount of time now and you're past sort of like that 6-month mark, there's a very good chance that the prices have increased in the area where you want to buy real estate. And if that's the case and you can only stay in that one area, maybe you need to adjust your expectations based on the pricing today. Very often, especially in our area, because the prices have risen so much over the last few years, people really sort of have the same expectations of pricing based on previous years. And the market is just not there anymore. We've had a huge price reset in our area. There are a lot of people moving here. There's still a lot of very low inventory in many neighborhoods. Sometimes you just have to sit down and look at the numbers. I do this very often with a lot of our buyers who have been looking for any amount of time, and I have to show them the comps based on what is sold over the last 3 years so they can see the pricing trends and where things are going and what you get for your money. In every neighborhood, there's an average. So if you, let's say your budget is $1 million, but everything in that area is selling for now 1.5, does it still make sense to be focusing in on that neighborhood? So just a discussion that we have to have during a buyer consultation. But these are the discussions that we have to have as your buyer's agents to best help guide you through this process. So if this area doesn't work for you anymore, we need to pivot to an area where you can actually find what you want to buy and the price that you want to spend. Another thing that people are really underestimating, and that's the cost of insurance. The cost of insurance in our area has definitely risen over the years. Some ways to kind of mitigate these expenses is to buy newer real estate. Also, to make sure the major systems in these properties are updated to today's standard for insurance purposes. Maybe you don't buy a property that's in a flood zone where the cost of the flood insurance can be more expensive. So these are some things that you really have to think about. Again, we do this at a buyer consultation. We discuss all of this, but these are kind of some tweaks that you can start to make that can really affect your bottom line and affect what you can afford in today's market. And what's interesting about all of these discussions that we have with our buyers is that sometimes making these small tweaks allows them to think outside of that original criteria. And then in the end, they end up finding a property that's better priced, it's larger on a bigger lot with more amenities than they were originally boxing themselves in on. So there's just a lot to know in today's market, and there are a lot of beautiful neighborhoods throughout our city, and there are a lot of buying opportunities. If you're just really limiting yourself to those neighborhoods that are very close to the city, you could be really missing out on a lot of great buying opportunities in today's market. Miami-Dade and Broward counties are huge areas, and there is a lot of real estate in both of these counties. There are many different types of properties and many different price points. So if you're super frustrated with today's real estate market and you think you just don't have any options, give us a call and we'll be happy to do a buyer consultation and give you a lot of opportunities where you can buy real estate today. My name's Jamey Prezzi. This is my husband, Ognjen Prezzi. You can find us online on Instagram at The Prezzis, and we will see you soon.